joining us 38-31 against the Jaspers from Manhattan University. Fresh, where are they from? Fair something, you said?
No, Riverdale. Have you ever been to Riverdale?
Riverdale.
It's a great area. It's a
Riverdale.
Beautiful area. Seriously.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is.
Mary. Sorry, that was a bad joke.
It'll be a frozen tundra for the next 6 months, but it was great in the fall, and will be nice again in May. So apologies to the Manhattan students who are covered in fleece, but they might be really happy right now, only down 7, which was really 5 until Kofi got that rebound.
That's right.
It's a 5-point game. I mean, it's a 7-point game by score, but I think we kind of called it. It looked like it was bully ball early, where we were going down low. The bigs were dominating Blake. I mean, this is like Blake going to Slaughter, going to the Dell.
That's right.
When we were playing back in the day, you just play whoever was out there. Like TJ, was a big guy. There's not a lot of 6'10", 260-pound students walking around. So it felt like that, but they crept into it, and credit to Manhattan for fighting, for being scrappy. I think what pissed me off right at the end of the half, they said a season high 38 points at the half for Virginia.
It's a lot.
That's a season high 38 points. So I don't want to I'm not going to be negative. Who's got next if you're listening, but I'm a little negative. We should score more than 38 points against Manhattan.
In a half.
Yeah, in a half. I do think it'll open up and we'll win by 20 because they're just outmatched and they've hit some shots, but they're not scared and they're playing well. We'll go to the stats. Anything that stuck out to you, Fresh, first half?
Yeah, what really stuck out to me is I don't think Manhattan runs any sort of offense whatsoever. So I've watched games the last couple of days because we had Connecticut. They run a lot of what's the word?
Plays.
Deep stuff, plays and screens. Manhattan did nothing, and I think their coach just willed them back. And he doesn't yell at his players. He's like,
they're not coming out.
Some shots, but how do we not this for University of Virginia? Just shut that all down and do some. And tonight, what I've seen on our side is it's Rhodey's team right now, right?
Yeah, what I saw Rhodey doing.
I was 5 minutes late, and IMAC, which I said he went to the basket, had that nice lefty lay-in, strong. He's made 2 passes on drives. He's being nice, Isaac McNeely. He's trying to get guys involved, which is not wrong in a game like this, right?
Yeah.
Isaac, stop it. Go for yours. He's made great passes and guys have kind of, made it or missed, but go for yours. But Rhodey's kind of, taking the team over a little bit, at least tonight, our team.
Yeah, what Rhodey does well, and I text or I message this on the message board, Rhodey knows better than anyone where everyone's supposed to be. So if you watch him, he's always pointing whether he has the ball, you should be over there, you should be over here. Not unusual with new guys. So that's stuff that coaches love. It's so funny, and there's value there. There's value there. He's telling people you shouldn't be there, clear out, because this play is supposed to come in from the right side and you're clogging it up. So he waves, he points, he knows where people are supposed to go. So we'll give.
I have a different theory. We'll talk about this offline. I think he waves and points for the sake of waving and pointing at times, but that's
okay. That's fair. But if you're, he definitely is portraying to people not only watching on TV but at the arena and the coaching staff. I know where everyone should be, and he's probably right. 75% of the time. So I get that. I get there's value there. But 38 points against Manhattan, I do think we'll score, in the 80s here. It wouldn't surprise me to see Manhattan come out and throw a wrinkle. maybe they have gone, they went zone for a few possessions and Blake just torched them and they got out of it pretty quickly. Blake was catching it, beneath the foul line. Oh, who do we get there?
Oh, Dave's going to talk about his tennis game now. Dave, we were talking about
Dave, are you playing pickleball right now?
Getting ready to play tennis. We have a indoor tennis facility here during the winter, so all good.
We're going to come to you quickly, and then we'll let you go. But I told Fresh I was not happy with the commentary at the end of the first half, which was a season high 38 points for the University of Virginia this year.
Well, it's interesting because I was going to say that's about as efficient as we could play offensively, and it just shows how glaringly unathletic we are defensively. It was funny because as soon as we signed off on the pregame, I mentioned to Fresh, and I've said this before, closing out late on shooters or high hand on shooters is not a 2024 strategy. It's old. Shooters are trained not to let that bother them anymore. And we let them get back in that game because we closed out late. High hand, just let them shoot over. There was like 4 threes just like that let them get back in the game. And I'm like, at what point are we going to play 2024 3-point defense and run by guys and make them do something else with the ball? That's my really main critique. I mentioned Saunders in the pregame. It was Buchanan, right? Buchanan had his way inside, and Saunders still doesn't look like he's big enough to really play inside.
Yeah, as I said to Fresh before you joined, this is a 5-point game until Kofi gets that rebound with 20 seconds left, puts it back in to make it a 7-point game. But 5 points at halftime against Manhattan is not. I don't think where any of us envisioned. Fresh as we go into the second half. Yep. Do you think we're going to pound it down low, or are we going to throw it into the bigs and let Blake operate? Because they did throw zone at us and we killed it. Then we went man, and we seemed to it flustered us a little bit. They're pressuring, they're scrappy, they're not going to quit, they're not scared. What do you see in the second half?
I don't know. Everything I see that happens, I'm baffled by it. Does Ron come in and say, let's pound it inside? Blake had 8 maybe early, I think. Yeah. Coffee did pretty good. Saunders was okay. We should. Will we? I don't know anymore. Are we going to just practice our offense again and practice this new revamped idea? Let's see. I'm sorry. I don't have a prediction there.
All right, Dave, let me ask you this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what is it about IMAC that he refuses to take semi-contested shots? I'm flummoxed by that. He's been semi-open 3 or 4 times where, to me, when I was a shooter, that to me is wide open. I didn't need someone to give me permission. And I just
well, before you came on, I made the comment, Hav will tell you, he's had it in spots where he could shoot, but he's trying to get other guys involved.
Right.
And and he made that pass in the middle of maybe Kofi or somebody somewhere else when he was open. And I said pregame, Isaac, just shoot 20 times tonight. Who doesn't matter.
Yeah. Here's a question for both of you guys. Are we being too unselfish right now? Because look, there's a time for unselfish play. There's also a time when you've got to just say, I got this, and I'm gonna fill it up because this guy can't guard me. Are we being too unselfish right now?
In that instance, for sure. Rhodey made a great pass. He caught it on the right side, other side, and he threw it to TJ Power, I think, on the left. And I think Power went the wrong way. It's okay. That's a good turnover. It was a sort of a bad communication, the right idea. It was unselfish, but Rhodey did the right thing. So yeah, there's instances where we're being too unselfish. Go for yours. We said it all the time, right? With Kenny Turner. Get yours. And that was like a motto of ours when we played basketball.
And there's an underlying reason why it's too unselfish. Do you remember a few years ago in football when they decided they weren't going to stop the clock on first downs? And then that only lasted for a season because there was all this uproar. one of the main reasons for that is the better teams know that when the clock stops on first downs, it gives your team more plays. And when you're the better team, more plays equals a greater scoring margin and less margin for error or less margin for potential upset. So when you're better than a team, you should want to shoot earlier because that's going to give you more possessions and more chance to get the lead larger. If you're the underdog, then yes, you don't want the possessions. You want to keep it closer. That's why I'm baffled by. I know that's how we played for 15 years, but why not take a shot 18 seconds left on the shot clock if you're well enough open?
All right, so we have had 7 steals, which is good. We've had 5 turnovers and offensive rebounds, which has been gross. We have 3. Like, is that imbalanced? To me,
Yep.
I'd rather have 7 offensive rebounds, lower turnovers, obviously, and sort of medium steals. But
well, to be fair, how many missed shots do we have?
So we are shooting.
We were like 70% for a long time. It was an insane percentage.
We are shooting 60% from the field, 44% from 3, which sounds really good until you realize we're up 7 points against.
Right. I was just saying there weren't that many offensive rebound chances, but based on our size, we're still only sending 1 or 2 to the boards, which is crazy to me. The bigger thing to me was 7 steals, which means live ball turnovers, and we're still looking to find a point guard, slow it down, don't push the ball up on when you have an advantage. It's like you get a steal, push the ball. That's the time when you absolutely should be pushing the ball. We did it last year some with Reese and Dunn, and we're still not doing that.
Yeah, you know who we need fresh here? We need Richard Morgan to just pull up from 3 on the break, because it's actually a good shot. And one of the things I've been saying for us is like we have falsely identified bad shots and good shots. I think like when you're open, it's a good shot. It doesn't matter where you are in the clock.
That's right. We've been the worst at I'm going to mess this up. Is it called blood in the water when you smell it? Like,
oh yeah,
when you're up by 12 and you're at home and you're playing Manhattan and they're not running any sort of offense and their coach is dressed in a 3-piece suit, which by the way, I like their coach a lot.
Same with me. I like his dress.
Yes. Yes.
Right. We should be up by 19.
That, it's just chum in the water. Like just push it. Like that's it. Your doors are getting blown off. How does it go where I'm watching the game? I'm like, wait, we're up 12, 13. We're going to cover the spread. I don't care about that. But next thing you know, it's 5.
It was 4. It got down to 4 with about 2 minutes left or something. And it was a 5-point game with 20 seconds
left. Guys, I'm going to go. Appreciate y'all.
All right. See you, Dave. I do like fresh. I'm glad you pointed that out. One of my notes was like, it's nice to see a coach that is kind of dressed up. I miss that era, and I'm sure the coaches don't miss it because they've got a packet. That's right. But that's old school. I like it. You know what he's doing? He's dressing for his next job, not the job he has. He's dressing for the job he wants.
Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, type thing.
Exactly right.
So after the Army win, I watched this. His uncle is his godfather. His uncle is 970 years old. Not really. That's not nice. Yeah. He's like 80 something, and his uncle was at the game, and he's doing the post game interview. That coach.
Yep.
And his uncle comes over and like grabbed him and kissed him like 5. It was really special. He's an old school Philadelphia guy, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
How it is from Boston.
All right, second half. What's being said right now in the locker room with Ron? I know he's calm. He's not a yeller.
He's calm.
Jason yelling. Is anyone like trying to pump these guys up, or like what's happening in there?
You know what? I think he's probably there. The coaches probably met and say, "What's the best way to come out in the second half?" I think you're always right about pounding in the post. I'm not sure it's going to happen. he's probably harping on defense. Like we missed this assignment, that assignment, the other thing. But let's just put the throttle down and let's go at him. It's Manhattan, in Charlottesville, Thanksgiving.
I agree. I think we need to go at him, and I think we need to just say, you know what? All of our big guys, TJ Powers being guarded by a 6'4" guy right now. Like post TJ. That guy's skilled. TJ is skilled. He's not like
Nope.
Put him in the post on the block. Let's ISO him with a 6'4" guy on him. I guarantee he can get 2-3 buckets like right away. Let's look at Blake. He's 6'11". There's a 6'8" guy guarding him. Like, get position, screen across, let him roll over, catch it on the block, and you're not going to turn around and dunk it every time, but let's pound him a little bit. We do that. It opens up the outside. We get our shooters going.
Right. Let's not do. I think what we're saying. Let's not come out and practice our revamped offense, whatever it is, right? Let's have a concerted effort to go at them. They can't handle Saunders, Coffee, Blake, TJ, whoever you want to put down there. They can't handle them. They can't handle Rhodey down there.
Yes, I agree. So you know what I did like? I saw, Day. So Day was, let's look at his stats, 2 for 3 on threes, and one of his threes on the pass, a guy got fouled. So he would have been 3 for 4. He's shooting it, I think, a little bit better than everyone expected. I like to see that. Isaac's 2 for 2, not enough shots, right? Not nearly enough shots.
No, he missed one. McNeely?
Not a 3. He's 2 for 2 on threes,
okay.
according to the stats. He's 4 for 6 on shots.
Okay. Yes.
And we're shooting a really high percentage. We're shooting 62%, which makes you scratch your head and say, all right, 62.5%, or no, I'm sorry, 60.6. 3-pointers were 50%. We should be up by 15. We're up 7/5. So we've got to tighten up, and this is guys, this is the team. This is like playing up at Slaughter. We got to just assert our dominance and ram it down their throat. And I think if that happens, then it bodes well for Holy Cross. If it doesn't, and we're sort of happy clinging to a 7 to 12 points lead, we'll get the win. We're going to win this game. But I want to see, beyond the win, I want to see a little bit of fire in there. But they're about to tip. Let's go. We'll be back.
You just called them Holy Cross, by the way?
Huh?
You just said we're playing Holy Cross.
No, next game.
I know. I'm kidding. I thought you meant this game. I'm just laughing.
No. Next game, I want to see them dominate, so we go into the Holy Cross game with a little bit of, vinegar in our blood. But anyway, all right, we'll be back post game for Fresh. I'm Hav. We'll see you guys in a few. Go Hoos.